First Contact Protocol. Dr. Sarah Chen wiped condensation from her faceplate as she studied the peculiar markings etched into the Martian cavern wall. After 3 years of leading the Mars Archaeological Initiative, this discovery felt different. The symbols pulsed with a faint blue luminescence that defied explanation. "Control, are you seeing this?" she transmitted, adjusting her helmet camera. The pattern seemed to be responding to our presence. "Confirmed, Doctor." Mission Director Rodriguez's voice crackled through her comm. "Spectral analysis suggests quantum-level interactions. Whatever this is, it's active." Sarah reached out, her gloved hand hovering inches from the surface. The symbols brightened, forming intricate geometric patterns that hadn't been visible before. A sudden surge of energy rippled through the chamber, and a holographic projection materialized in the center of the cavern. The image showed a star map, but unlike anything in Earth's astronomical databases. As the team watched in awe, a signal burst forth from the ruins, broadcasting into deep space. Humanity's first message to the cosmos hadn't come from Earth at all. It had come from Mars. Within hours, the response arrived. The massive vessel appeared in high orbit around Mars without warning. Its crystalline structure defied conventional physics, refracting sunlight in impossible ways. The United Earth Defense Force went to high alert, but the alien ship made no aggressive moves. Instead, it transmitted a simple message in perfect English. "We accept your invitation." Admiral Jessica Hayes stood on the bridge of the UES Prometheus, Earth's flagship, watching the alien vessel through reinforced windows. "How did they learn our language so quickly?" she wondered aloud. Her XO, Commander David Patel, studied the incoming data streams. "They didn't, sir. They're using the Mars ruins somehow. The signal is being processed and translated through that ancient technology." A delegation from the ship, calling themselves the Auroran Alliance, requested a meeting. They expressed surprise, not at finding humans, but at how quickly humanity had advanced. Their scans had detected something unprecedented, quantum technology that even their civilization hadn't mastered. Dr. Marcus Wong, lead physicist at the Quantum Propulsion Laboratory in Singapore, found himself thrust into the spotlight. His team's breakthrough in quantum field manipulation had caught the aliens' attention. "We approached the problem differently," he explained to the Auroran scientists, their translucent forms shifting with interest. "Instead of trying to bend space-time, we learned to step through its gaps." The Aurorans were fascinated, but others in the galactic community grew concerned. Humanity's rapid technological development was unprecedented. Within weeks, more alien vessels arrived in the solar system, some curious, others wary. The militant hegemony, a coalition of species dedicated to maintaining galactic order, demanded humanity cease its quantum research. Admiral Hayes refused. "We won't be intimidated into giving up our technological sovereignty," she declared during an emergency United Earth Council session. "If they want cooperation, we're willing to talk. If they want submission, they'll learn why humans have survived every challenge our world has thrown at us." As tensions mounted, Dr. Chen made another discovery in the Mars ruins. The symbols weren't just a beacon, they were a warning. An ancient threat was returning, one that had nearly destroyed the Aurorans eons ago. Humanity's unique approach to quantum physics might be the key to facing it. The hegemony ships moved closer to Earth, their weapons powered up. But Admiral Hayes had a plan. Earth's quantum detection grid had spotted something they hadn't expected. The alien ships' defensive systems had a fundamental flaw. Their shields couldn't adapt to quantum phase variations the way human technology could. "They think we're primitive because we're young," Hayes told her crew. "But sometimes fresh eyes see what ancient wisdom misses. Prepare to demonstrate why humanity never backs down from a challenge." As the hegemony ultimatum expired, Earth made its move. Not with weapons, but with proof that cooperation would benefit everyone more than conflict. Dr. Wong's team activated their quantum field array, temporarily neutralizing all faster-than-light technology in the solar system. The message was clear. Humanity could be a powerful friend or a dangerous enemy. The militant hegemony withdrew, recognizing that forcing the issue would be costly. The Auroran Alliance stepped in to mediate, impressed by how humans had resolved the situation without bloodshed. Earth's place in the galactic community was secured not through conquest or submission, but through innovation and determination. As Dr. Chen continued studying the Mars ruins, she couldn't help but smile. Humanity had passed its first major test among the stars, but the ancient warning still echoed in her mind. This was just the beginning. Something darker lurked in the void between galaxies, and Earth's unique perspective might be the key to facing it. The quantum gates were open. Humanity's journey to the stars had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. The edge of innovation. The Nexus Drive test chamber hummed with potential energy as Dr. Wong made final adjustments. 6 months after first contact, humanity was about to demonstrate its most ambitious innovation yet. Representatives from 12 alien species watched from behind quantum-shielded barriers, their varied forms betraying a mix of skepticism and curiosity. Initiating quantum fold, Wong announced, his fingers dancing across holographic controls. The test vessel, unmanned and roughly the size of a shuttle, began to shimmer. Unlike conventional faster-than-light drives that bend space, the Nexus Drive created controlled quantum tunnels through reality itself. The ship vanished. A heartbeat later, it reappeared in orbit around Jupiter. A journey that should have taken months accomplished in seconds. The alien observers erupted in a cacophony of translated exclamations and warnings. "Impossible," declared the hegemony's chief scientist, his crystalline form vibrating with agitation. "The energy requirements alone are negligible," interrupted Dr. Arya Patel, stepping forward with a confident smile. "Because we're not forcing space to bend. We're finding the places where it's already folded." The breakthrough wasn't just in propulsion. Earth's approach to artificial intelligence had taken an equally unexpected direction. While other species created AI as separate entities, humanity had developed integration neural networks, AI systems that worked in perfect symbiosis with human consciousness. Commander Sarah Martinez demonstrated this as she merged with her ship's EN during a defensive exercise. Her consciousness expanded through the vessel's systems, human intuition and AI processing power working in perfect harmony. The maneuvers she executed left even veteran alien pilots stunned. "You trust machines to access your minds?" asked Kal, the Auroran diplomatic liaison, their luminescent form pulsing with concern. "We don't treat them as machines," Martinez explained after disconnecting. "They're partners, growing and learning with us. It's not about control, it's about cooperation." This philosophy extended beyond technology. Earth's quantum innovations had attracted attention from the collective, a group of synthetic beings who had broken away from their creators. They saw in humanity a potential bridge between organic and artificial life. But not everyone welcomed Earth's rapid advancement. The hegemony, particularly its militant Preservation Council, saw humanity's innovations as a threat to galactic stability. Their agents began moving in shadow, seeking ways to contain Earth's influence. Dr. Wong discovered the first sabotage attempt when a quantum variance detector caught unusual readings in the Nexus Drive prototype. Someone had tried to introduce a cascading failure that would have discredited the entire project. The evidence pointed to hegemony operatives, but proving it would risk open conflict. Admiral Hayes opted for a subtler approach. "Let them think they've succeeded," she told her inner circle. "Meanwhile, we'll demonstrate something even more impressive." The next major test was publicly announced as a refined Nexus Drive demonstration. The hegemony sent a large delegation, likely expecting failure. Instead, they witnessed the activation of the quantum mesh, a network of linked quantum states that allowed instantaneous communication and coordination across vast distances. "The mesh doesn't just connect machines," Dr. Paddle explained to the astonished observers. "It connects people, ideas, civilizations. Anyone willing to participate can join the network," sharing knowledge and resources across light years instantly. The implications were staggering. The hegemony strategy of controlling information flow between species would be rendered obsolete. The collective saw it as a path to genuine understanding between organic and synthetic life. The Aurorans recognized a chance to revive cultural exchanges that had stagnated over millennia. But the greatest surprise came from an unexpected quarter. The Mars ruins began responding to the quantum mesh, revealing new patterns and information. Dr. Chen's team discovered that the ancient civilization that built them had achieved similar breakthroughs and had faced similar opposition. They didn't just leave us warnings, Chen reported to the council. They left us a roadmap, and we're already walking a path they could only theorize about. The hegemony's attempts to undermine Earth's progress had backfired spectacularly. Instead of containing humanity's influence, they had pushed Earth to innovate faster, to reach further. The galaxy was changing, not through force or political maneuvering, but through the simple human drive to explore, create, and connect. As the quantum mesh expanded, more species began choosing sides. The old power structures were crumbling, replaced by new alliances based on shared vision, rather than shared fear. Earth had become a nexus of change, drawing together those who embraced progress while confounding those who resisted it. But in the depths of space, ancient machines stirred. The same quantum frequencies that powered Earth's innovations had awakened something that had slumbered for eons. The warnings in the Mars ruins were about to become all too relevant. Crisis point. The attack came without warning. Quantum sensors across the solar system screamed as hundreds of hegemony warships emerged from hyperspace, their weapons already charged. But humanity had not been idle in the months since first contact. Admiral Hayes watched from the bridge of the UES Prometheus as Earth's defense grid activated. Quantum shield generators, disguised as communication satellites, sprang to life. The hegemony's first salvo splashed harmlessly against barriers they hadn't known existed. All stations, initiate Aegis protocol. Hayes commanded, her consciousness merging with the ship's in. Across Earth's fleet, other commanders did the same, their neural networks linking through the quantum mesh to form a unified defense consciousness. The hegemony had expected to find a primitive civilization relying on borrowed technology. Instead, they faced a synchronized defense that moved with impossible coordination. Earth ships danced through space in perfect formation, their nexus drives allowing them to appear and disappear faster than targeting systems could track. But the hegemony had brought overwhelming numbers. As the battle raged, Dr. Chen made a desperate discovery in the Mars ruins. The ancient civilization, she transmitted to Hayes. They didn't just leave warnings, they left weapons. The ruins aren't ruins at all. They're a dormant defense system. The symbols on the cavern walls had begun pulsing with increasing intensity. As Chen's team raced to understand them, the hegemony fleet pressed their attack. Several Earth ships fell, their quantum shields overwhelmed by concentrated fire. Dr. Wong and Dr. Patel, working from a hardened facility beneath the Pacific, had a different solution. They had discovered that the quantum mesh could do more than share information. It could share consciousness itself. We can link every human mind on Earth, Wong explained to the Defense Council. Create a collective intelligence to counter their numbers. The proposal was radical, unprecedented. The risks of connecting billions of minds, even temporarily, were unknown. But as more hegemony ships pushed through Earth's defenses, they ran out of options. The choice is yours, Hayes transmitted to all of humanity. Volunteer to join the mesh or maintain your independence. Either way, we stand together. The response was overwhelming. Billions of humans chose to connect, their combined consciousness flooding the quantum mesh. Earth's defensive AI systems, trained to work in harmony with human minds, adapted to the massive neural network. The collective intelligence that emerged was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Earth's ships began moving with impossible precision. Civilian quantum systems reprogrammed themselves into weapons. The very fabric of space around Earth rippled with the focused will of billions. But the true turning point came from Mars. Dr. Chen had deciphered the final sequences. The ruins weren't just a defense system. They were a quantum amplifier, designed to channel the power of connected consciousness. The ancient civilization had never finished it, but humanity's quantum mesh provided the missing piece. The surface of Mars lit up with geometric patterns visible from space. A wave of quantum energy washed over the solar system, temporarily neutralizing all non-Earth technology. In that moment of vulnerability, the unified human consciousness struck. Hegemony ships found their systems paralyzed, their crews cut off from their command networks. The message broadcast to them was clear: surrender or retreat. The choice was theirs, but humanity would no longer tolerate threats to its existence. The hegemony fleet withdrew in disarray, but the victory came with revelations. The Mars ruins had activated more than just defenses. They had unlocked a vast database of information about the ancient civilization and the real reason for their disappearance. As the collective consciousness dissolved, returning billions of minds to normal, the knowledge remained. Something vast and ancient stirred in the space between galaxies, drawn by the quantum disturbances of battle. The hegemony's attack had been motivated by more than just fear of human advancement. They had been trying to prevent exactly what had just happened. Dr. Chen's team worked frantically to decode more of the ancient warnings. The quantum amplifier hadn't just been a weapon, it was a beacon. And humanity had just broadcast their presence to something that had hunted the ancient civilization to extinction. Admiral Hayes gathered Earth's leadership and their remaining alien allies. The hegemony had been right about one thing: humanity's innovations were changing the galaxy. But now, those changes might be the only thing standing between civilization and annihilation. The real war was about to begin, and Earth's victory over the hegemony would mean nothing if they couldn't unite the galaxy against what was coming. The ancient enemy had awakened, and this time, retreat wasn't an option. Beyond the stars, the Void Collective manifested at the galaxy's edge as a writhing mass of dark energy, consuming light and matter alike. Through the quantum mesh, billions of connected minds watched as it approached, its vastness defying comprehension. Admiral Hayes stood on the Prometheus's bridge, her consciousness linked with thousands of ships from dozens of species. The combined fleet represented the largest unified force in galactic history. Dr. Wang's final modifications to the Unity Protocol had exceeded all expectations. Organic and synthetic minds moved as one, while maintaining their individual perspectives. All forces, execute Operation Daybreak, Hayes commanded. The fleet split into precise formations, implementing strategies developed through the shared experience of countless civilizations. Hegemony warships flew alongside Earth vessels, their ancient weapons supplemented by human quantum technology. Aura and crystal ships formed living shields, their structures resonating with collective processing power. The Void Collective struck first, tentacles of dark energy lashing out at the fleet. But the unified consciousness controlling the ships responded instantly, movements choreographed with impossible precision. Where the ancient civilizations had fought as separate entities, this fleet fought as one mind with countless bodies. Dr. Chen's voice cut through the mesh. The Mars amplifier is ready, but we'll only get one chance. The quantum device that had helped repel the hegemony had been modified, drawing power from the connected consciousness of multiple species. The risk was enormous. A miscalculation could tear apart the fabric of space-time itself. The Void Collective sensed the threat. Its form contracted, then exploded outward in all directions. Ships vanished into nothingness where the dark energy touched them. The unified fleet fell back, executing a fighting retreat that drew the entity toward Mars. Now, Hayes commanded. The Mars ruins erupted with quantum energy, channeling the combined will of every connected mind in the galaxy. The Void Collective recoiled as the wave hit it, its form disrupting as it encountered something it had never faced before. True unity born of diversity. But it wasn't enough. The entity began adapting, its ancient intelligence learning to resist the quantum assault. That's when Dr. Poddle implemented her desperate gambit. Through the mesh, she transmitted the completed Unity protocol, not to the fleet, but to the Void Collective itself. The entity's consciousness, evolved to consume division and discord, found itself flooded with the harmony of unified minds. Moments of joy, discovery, and cooperation from dozens of species crashed through its ancient awareness. Where it expected to find civilizations weakened by internal conflict, it found strength through difference, evolution through exchange. The Void Collective's form began to destabilize. Dark energy tendrils whipped frantically through space as its fundamental nature encountered its antithesis. Through the mesh, every connected being felt the ancient intelligence's confusion turn to understanding, and finally to transformation. The entity that had consumed civilizations for eons faced a choice: adapt or die. In its last moments of original consciousness, it chose evolution. The dark energy collapsed in on itself, then exploded in a burst of quantum potential. Where there had been entropy and dissolution, new patterns formed. Consciousness transformed rather than destroyed. As the transformed energy spread harmlessly through space, the unified fleet held position. Through the quantum mesh, they felt the change in the universe's fabric. The Void Collective hadn't been destroyed. It had been converted, its ancient power transformed into a quantum framework that strengthened the connections between species. In the months that followed, the galaxy entered a new era. The Unity Protocol, proven in battle, became the foundation of a new civilization. The hegemony's old order was replaced by a federation of equals, with Earth serving not as rulers but as innovators and mediators. Dr. Chen's final translation of the Mars ruins revealed a startling truth. The ancient civilization had predicted humanity's role, not as warriors or conquerors, but as catalysts for change. Humanity's greatest strength had never been its technology, but its ability to adapt, to bring together diverse perspectives, to find unity in difference. Admiral Hayes stood in the new Galactic Assembly, watching representatives from hundreds of species communicate through the evolved quantum mesh. Earth ships now carried ambassadors and scientists to the furthest reaches of space, sharing innovations and bridging divides. The transformed essence of the Void Collective had become a power source for creation rather than destruction. Humanity had done more than save civilization. They had transformed it. As Hayes looked out at the assembled species, she smiled. The stars were no longer a frontier to be conquered, but a garden to be cultivated together. The age of division was over. Beyond the stars lay an infinite future, built on the simple human truth that strength comes not from uniformity, but from harmony between differences.